Welcome to E4 Electric, your #1 source for what's happening now in the world of electric cars. Today we got so many things to talk about. I'm going to tell you and I'm going to show you some footage, including drone footage of what I call is Model 3 heaven. Over 100 of Model 3s packed nicely like sardines in a parking lot ready to be delivered at the delivery location here in Fremont. I'm going to show you that footage. There's a couple of other Model 3 related news coming up today. The new largest semi-truck order up to date. We're going to talk about that. Oh yeah, of course, if I'm wearing the shirt, Tesla won some legal battle somewhere in the country. And of course, the comment of the day, we're going to talk about the Rolls-Royce story, about them going electric. Got a lot of comments. So let's get going, and we're going to start right now. Alright guys, so if this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. My name is Alex. If you're interested in staying up to date with what's going on in the world of electric cars, you came to the place, please consider subscribing. Go ahead and click on the bell notification icon down there so you don't miss anything moving forward. But most importantly, become a part of this community. As you can see, the chat is already going. A lot of people are joining from all kinds, all countries and continents in the world. All right, let me tell you about my visit yesterday to there's a Fremont Factory here, obviously, where, you know, the cars are being made, but there are, you know, obviously there are service centers. There is one literally like a mile away from the factory, but there's also a delivery center there now, and I'm sure you've seen some pictures and videos of tons of Model 3s being stockpile there. There's another location, also a delivery center in Los Angeles, that kind of got the same thing going on. So I'm gonna show you some footage. As you can see, and actually let me show you the full view of this. As you can see, tons of Model 3s there. There's some Model X's and Model S's, but it's mainly Model 3s there, all lined up nicely, ready to be delivered. I mean, this was just exciting. I've never seen so many Model 3s in one place. I've also seen some at the Fremont Factory, maybe another 30 or 40 lined up, I'm assuming, to be shipped. Now, this is my drone footage, so you can see how many of them. This is their parking lot. You see, and this time I did not crash my drone, by the way. As you can see how many of them are here. And I'm gonna raise my drone right now so you can see how close this is to the Fremont Factory. So obviously this is very nice and convenient. If you look at the upper right corner, I'm gonna pan up just a little bit. Yep, you'll see that's the Fremont Factory right there underneath my logo and Evanex logo. So, you know, it is pretty close and it's pretty exciting. I mean, obviously it's only like, you know, they can drive those cars really from the factory to that location so they can be delivered to the customers, and that is, I think, pretty cool. Well, let me switch it to a smaller version now. Yeah, I mean, you know, just being there is kind of exciting. I mean, I didn't want to, you know, walk around too much because, I mean, they packed so close. So just took a little bit of a few shots. You know, from what I understand, the VIN numbers are going all the way to 23, 24, 2500 right now. So this is pretty exciting. Another thing about the Model 3, actually, a bit of exciting news because, and people are saying, Elon Musk confirmed. He really didn't confirm. They were talking about, someone was talking on Twitter about possibly having 20-inch wheels. And a lot, you know, some of the production candidates had a 20-inch wheels, and people love the way it looks. A lot of aftermarket places already offering them. And Elon just agreed with somebody that he likes the way they look. People are speculating that's probably what they're going to do. They're going to come out with a 20-inch version. Right now it's only 18 and 19. So that's pretty cool, I think, especially if a lot of people are waiting for it. And by the way, so this kind of brings me to the next point, because, you know, Tesla sales are going to be amazing in this quarter. I mean, granted that the Q4 is usually the best quarter for them, has been so far in their short history, but, you know, a lot of people are trying to really get a Model S or Model X right now for a lot of different reasons. First, a lot of people are afraid that $7,500 credit are going to be away here in the United States. Second, even if it wasn't going away, you can only claim the credit on your next year's tax return, which is only a few months here in the United States. But if you get your car in January, February, you're going to have to wait until 2019 to claim it. So a lot of people are trying to get that. Obviously, people are excited about Model 3, so a lot of them are buying brand new Model S or Model X's just because they decided to upgrade before Model 3 comes out. So the sales are very strong. Also, Norway had their little scare, and a lot of people wanted to get a Model S before. Their incentives are going away. They looks like they're not, but they're already delivering record numbers in Norway. So overall, this is going to be a really good quarter for Tesla, and they'll probably end up delivering anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 of Model 3s. So look forward to that because this is going to be a great quarter for them. Before I move on, of course, I want to mention that this video and this channel is sponsored by Evanix, aftermarket accessories for Tesla. And let's move on to the semi-truck. We haven't talked about it for like 2 days at this point, right? The largest order has been placed, at least the largest known order has been placed by Pepsi. They've ordered 100 semi-trucks, which is freaking a lot because, you know, think about it, that's like $150,000 to $200,000 per truck, so it's a significant order. It looks like things are just kind of snowballing almost, right? Like at first it was kind of quiet. Walmart ordered some, and you know, and here and there other companies. But now, when just this week alone, we got we got Budweiser delivering beer for the adults. Now Pepsi is delivering some soft drinks for the kids. So this is a family adventure at this point. I mean, I'm looking forward to see what else is going to happen. 100 trucks is a pretty significant number because, I mean, I know Pepsi has a huge fleet of thousands and thousands of semi-trucks, but you know, this is still a sample. This is still something to test, but it's almost like they all try and one-up each other, trying to make sure that they get these trucks early to test them out and to have it in their fleet. So this is pretty good. This is pretty good news. Now, Dirk in the chat room says, I read somewhere that some VINs were gone and there was some new VINs, so cars are delivered from the stockpile. I have to say that from what I understand, yesterday the highest VIN was 2,300, but before, like literally day before, the highest VIN was 2,100. So yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, they are delivering these cars now, so it's, you know, come and gone. I've heard on the message boards that the highest VIN right now report is 2,500, but that changes every 3 seconds. Rob says, hi Alex, from Australia. I think Model 3 Go, really good vehicle. I can't agree with you more. Someone's from Toronto, Canada, South Texas. Let's see. Istvan says how things are going. Things are going amazing with all this great news coming out. Oh, and by the way, let me remind you guys that, of course, I have a Patreon page where I offer some exclusive footage, behind the scenes footage for those who contribute to the production of this show, for which I thank you. You can find the link in the description of this video. All right, let's move on to another story, of course. Legalize this. Now, this is a victory that Tesla is gonna have. Well, here's what's been going on in the state of Michigan, because Tesla has been trying to obviously sell their cars there, and they've passed a law in 2014, kind of a shady way with the shady sponsors of this law that prohibits the sales. So Tesla can't sell cars right now in Michigan. But meanwhile, what they did, and by the way, like one of the senators who squeezed that thing in one last second, that bill, apparently he's married to one of the auto industry lobbyists, which is just insane how it's even allowed. But what Tesla's been trying to do right now, they've been trying to fight this. They're trying to have the court make basically the automaker lobby and the senators, the lawmakers, to release all of their communications so Tesla and everybody else can see if they actually conspired against Tesla. Wow, big surprise if that happens, right? So finally they won that appeal. So now all those guys have to release their emails, their documents about how they were conspiring against Tesla. And I think we're gonna find some really juicy stuff, because I mean, these guys seems like they were really afraid to do stuff like that, because again, a senator who's working on the law is married to the automaker, a lobbyist. So I think we're going to find some interesting details. I'm hoping that's going to pave the way for more victories, and especially in Michigan for Tesla. But so far, this t-shirt continues to be popular. So I thought that was another great news, obviously, for Tesla and for, you know, just electric car sales directly to from manufacturer, which actually doesn't seem like that bad of an idea anymore at all. Caesar says, Alex, I just saw a Model 3 in Phoenix with the temp tags this morning. Congratulations, first of all. What do you think? I think it looks exactly like it is on a picture in person, which doesn't happen very often with cars or online dating, really, for that matter. So yeah, I think that I love it. Let me know which color you saw. But yeah, people are seeing them all over the place. Even in Europe, they're testing it now. So this is exciting times, guys. This is the times when we are experiencing this together. Okay, let me move on to the most favorite part of my day here, which is a comment of the day. Today it comes from Marcus Fuller. He says, hi Alex, so I did a segment yesterday about how Rolls-Royce is considering to be going fully electric, skipping the sort of the phase of hybrids, just going fully electric. A lot of people reminded me that they've already tried the electric technology, sort of, but they never went with it. So he says, Marcus says, Rolls has been testing electrified technology for the past 6 years. They want to move to all electric on some vehicles because of stronger power, the silence of it all, and European monitoring tax rules, which can be very expensive. Also, cities like London and Paris are debating banning petrol. Remember, the characteristics of Rolls-Royce is silence, power, and premier luxury. You know what? I can't agree with you more. Yesterday I was talking about how I'm a little bit surprised that Rolls-Royce has actually been considering this, granted the fact that they are, I'm just going to do some, well, let me do this. Granted that they are, kind of old school company, and this is kind of a brand new technology, and they're skipping the phase of hybrids, which a lot of people took that kind of route. But at the same time, you're right, they are interested in a quiet ride and a smooth ride when there is really no transmission or whatever. So that does make sense, and they have tried electric technology before, so it's not a big surprise, really. It's just a surprise that they're moving. They didn't have to announce it or even stick their nose into this business at this point. They could have probably waited for a few years. I'm just surprised that even Rolls-Royce is going to try to do something like this. And I mean, we'll see. They're owned by BMW. They're not exactly on the cutting edge of this technology, but hey, this could, I'm looking forward to an all electric Rolls-Royce. I think it could be definitely fun. So that's comment of the day. Gene in the chat room says the fact that they are called dealership is all you need to know. What else sells at dealerships? Well, I mean, okay, it's just to be fair. Okay, I mean, I agree with you, but just to be fair, originally those laws were designed to protect us, the consumers, from manufacturers trying to really dictate the price and the service that they offer when they sell cars to us. They originally thought that the dealerships would be a good cushion and a good for us as consumers to have to be able to get those cars to us and compete between each other, right? Because there's only, what, 20 manufacturers. It's easier to compete, but there's only, a couple dozen of you than if every single dealership would compete, because your dealerships, let's say a BMW dealership in Los Angeles will compete with a BMW dealership in Burbank, and that creates competition that's good for consumers. So there is something behind it. They just gotten really fat and lazy, and that's I think the problem. Gene once again in the chat room says Rolls also prides itself on insane longevity. That is true, actually. That's another good point. See, guys, this is why I love having you contribute to the show. You guys know a lot of stuff, so sometimes I stand corrected and sometimes I just learn stuff from you. Excellent point, Gene. Thank you. Let's see. All right, you guys are talking. Oh, Q-Tip Shark in the chat room says so trucks would suit too. Okay, maybe you guys should talk to it among itself. But by the way, there's just so many news coming out every day. We are losing sort of, we're losing the sense of how many huge things Tesla are doing. As you can see, I'm not even talking about other cars. I mean, I do have some things I want to cover, like Nissan Leaf going on sale, in January 1st in the United States, but I really can't because there's just Tesla is dominating all of these awesome new stories. Tony in the chat room says it's actually pretty smart of Rolls-Royce to skip hybrid designs and go straight to electric. The technology is advanced so much, and to have a killer car like Rolls-Royce would certainly propel EVs further. I mean, I agree. I mean, I think that, having this hybrid technology step is usually delaying and making them lazy. So I'm excited that they're going to skip it. I'm just surprised in a good way. Yeah, I'm surprised in a good way. So All right, guys. Let's see. I definitely enjoyed yet another news-filled day. I enjoyed my a trip to the to the Model 3 heaven, of course, and I hope you enjoyed my footage, my drone footage, because this way we could see the entire parking lot, which I think people haven't seen before. So with that said, thank you so much for joining me, guys. I will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific as usual. Other than that, remember to stay charged.